Okay, I think this homework's pretty straightforward, although I think this table might cause a little bit of confusion, so I'm going to do this one for the homework help video. Number 5 says, in the table below, place a check in each box that applies to all figures in the listed category. So they're saying for all trapezoids, which of these apply? So for every possible trapezoid you can think of, are no sides parallel? That's not true. We know that a trapezoid has exactly one pair of parallel sides, and that's the next box. So that is true of all trapezoids. The next box, the next column says 2 pairs of parallel sides. That's never true of any trapezoid. 4 right angles. That's also impossible for a trapezoid, for any trapezoid, let alone all trapezoids. And then 4 congruent sides. That also is not true of all trapezoids. Okay, so for parallelograms, no sides parallel, that's definitely not true. Exactly 1 pair of parallel sides, that's not true, or it would be a trapezoid. 2 pairs of parallel sides, that's what makes a parallelogram. 4 right angles, while some parallelograms do have 4 right angles, not all parallelograms have 4 right angles, so we're not going to check that box. 4 congruent sides, while some parallelograms do have 4 congruent sides, not all parallelograms have 4 congruent sides, so we're going to leave that blank also. Okay, rectangles, no sides parallel, that's not true, because a rectangle is a type of parallelogram. Exactly 1 pair of parallel sides, that's not true. 2 pairs of parallel sides, that's true. 4 right angles, yes, rectangles have 4 right angles. 4 congruent sides, well, certain kinds of rectangles have 4 congruent sides, they're called squares, but not all rectangles have 4 congruent sides, so we'll leave that blank. Rhombus, no sides parallel, that's false. Rhombus is a type of parallelogram, so also leave the exactly 1 pair of parallel sides blank, because that's not true. It's a parallelogram, it has 2 pairs of parallel sides. 4 right angles, while some rhombuses do have 4 right angles, not all of them do, so we'll leave that blank. 4 congruent sides, that is true of all rhombuses. Squares, no sides parallel, that's false. Exactly 1 pair of parallel sides, that's false. 2 pairs of parallel sides. 4 right angles and 4 congruent sides. All squares have 4 right angles and 4 congruent sides. Okay, I'm going to do these 3 problems. It says determine whether each statement is always true, sometimes true, or never true. And then fill in the blanks with always, sometimes, or never. A parallelogram is blank a rectangle. Well, some parallelograms are rectangles, but not all. So a parallelogram is not always a rectangle. A parallelogram is sometimes a rectangle. It also is sometimes a rhombus, so it's not always a rectangle. And sometimes it's neither. It's sometimes just a parallelogram, not a special type of parallelogram, like a rhombus or a rectangle or a square. Okay, number 19. A rectangle is always a parallelogram. The definition of parallelogram is opposite sides parallel, and that's true of all rectangles. So all rectangles are always parallelograms. They're just a special type of parallelogram. And then this last one, 20, the answer is also always, because a square is always a rhombus. A rhombus is a parallelogram with 4 congruent sides, and all squares also are parallelograms with 4 congruent sides. It's just a special type of rhombus because all 4 angles are also 90 degrees. So this one is also always. Okay, I hope that helps with the homework. See you in the morning.